Welcome to Steel Curtain Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. Basically, this is just a recap. First, anyway, thank you to my subscribers and followers. Muchly appreciate your support. Share it with your friends and family. If you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. Helps the channel grow as we've built a strong community here at Steel Curtain Productions. Okay, so let's get to it. This is a recap of the wild card game, and it had Houston coming to Pittsburgh, and it unfortunately went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. And it's weird in saying that because I thought in other circumstances this would have been one of the matches we may have won it, but do you want it or don't you? I mean, that defense was incredible by the Texans last night. 30-6. They ultimately crushed us. If this is not alarming and a signal, you keep getting to the wild card, but it keeps getting worse. This score is not even respectable. It was a pathetic game. I mean, pathetic. It was more than painful to watch. I don't even understand from a secondary standpoint. I was blown away with some of the coverage. Jalen Ramsey, this guy's supposed to be a superstar in the secondary. How do you let guys behind you? I don't know whatever happened to this concept of allowing the player behind you when you're a corner or a safety. We always played it. We always had the man in front of us, so he wasn't getting on the opposite side of us so that he could get in the goal line. You stayed in front of him, then you can play on that. Whatever, if the ball's coming in that direction, you can make your move. I don't understand how an expert. Like I said, I'm still for me, and I've said it all along. I didn't like the trade with him and Mika Fitzpatrick. Um, I liked Mika, and I don't see where the big uh, what was the big improvement we got when we got Ramsey. I see nothing to warrant that. And the play I've seen, and I've seen this in several games with our secondary's got some major issues, and I don't know if it's coaching schemes or what. Pathetic. I don't have a lot of confidence in that coaching staff, and that goes from top to bottom. I've said it all along. There comes a point, 19 years, you can use that as a feather in your cap that you got into the playoffs, but that's a pile of crap because you can't win majority of the games that you get there. This was just not even an unrespectful game. It was an insult to injury if you're a Steelers fan. You wanted to hide your head between your legs. It was that pathetic of a game. Aaron Rodgers looked like a deer in the headlights. Sorry, Aaron was great in his day, his heyday, and I knew this was going to be a problem. That's why I projected this to happen. I said we wouldn't win a playoff game, and when I realized it was Stroud, what a quarterback that is, I knew we were in trouble when I realized because I hadn't followed Texans that closely. What a quarterback, and realizing that he was with them, I just like, yeah, we're going to get caught up. Pittsburgh's got some major issues. This is the price you pay for going after a senior citizen for a quarterback, and you did it. You've been doing it a few years in a row now. You never got the message when you lost Ben Rosenberger when he was leaving that you needed to go out and get a starting quarterback. What's your problem is this is a GM problem too. Kid yourself not. The way this team has got a lot of big problems. Our defense nowhere's near close as good as the Texans. That showed our secondary is just atrocious. You might have Joey Porter that you can look as a bright spot back there. Other than that, nothing impressive. Middle linebackers, yeah, so. Our line is probably our strongest point. Um, felt so bad for Cameron Hayward. He put so much effort into it, and he did play his ass off. Same thing with TJ Watt. They both played their asses off, but we're now coming to a point where it's not enough. Our quarterback. I mean, you could look at Aaron Rodgers in last night's game. You could see his brain was probably telling him to run, but his body couldn't move. And he just is not Aaron of youth. Sorry, get over it, Pittsburgh. Let's get on the reality track and get ourselves a good young quarterback. I don't know how you're going to do this because there's nothing on the horizon in quarterbacks in the draft right at the moment. I don't know what you're going to do. Um, you got some major issues here. And I mean major. You should have addressed it a long time ago. And our defense has got some glaring holes. And then our line is just pathetic. How many years have we been drafting for the line? And it just gets no better. I mean, bad enough Aaron can't run anymore like he did when he was a young quarterback, but that line, there was no protection for the quarterback. So you got to look at that as well. The only bright spot I seen on offense was Metcalf. That was it. And, we just, as a quarterback, we just couldn't get it to him. You need a 1-2 punch, but you need a damn good for young quarterback that's in the category of these young guys, Stroud, um, you know, Mahomes, Allen, these type of, and Lawrence, these type of quarterbacks. You need somebody at that level, and we just don't have him. We were no match, and if this is not a signal for a major, there's major work. This was a major alarm off because it just keeps getting worse in our wild cards every game, every year. Enough's enough. Admit you may have to even pay a penalty of getting starting it, rebuild the whole damn thing. You might have to because some of these guys are getting up there now, and I hate to lose our star players like TJ Watt, but maybe we're at that crossroad where we have to trade our best players like now and sacrifice them to get some good young talent because we need a rebuild so badly and it gives TJ a chance to win somewheres because he deserves a better fate than this. The Steelers have ripped off, a few of these veterans with the jokes, the way they've put these rosters together, and I've condemned it since even when the last few years have been, they weren't aiding him very much either, but it got even way worse since he's been gone, and we haven't addressed the issues. It's pathetic. We deserve to get our asses kicked. We got our asses handed to us, and it was embarrassing. Totally embarrassing. So I don't want to hear 19 years in a row we make the playoffs. That's a pile of shit, and it stands for nothing now. Like I said, that doesn't wash when you can't win a playoff game. Okay, just not good enough. Okay, so we're going to get to 30-6. I can't even. That's pretty much. I'm even beyond reading the stats. We get lead early with grabbing our 3 points due to Boswell was probably the only positive point other than Metcalf. He gets the field goal, and then they come back 7-3 is scored in the second half, so we're down by one. And then the third quarter, there's nothing. Then they score 23 points on us. I mean, come on. In the fourth and final quarter, 30-6. That's not even a close game. That's not even respectable. You got to have your head hidden between your legs in this one because it's embarrassing. Totally, this was a total embarrassment. They didn't deserve to be in this playoff. I'll tell you that right now. This team is bad, and it's real bad. It's about time they start focusing on it and stop ignoring, keeping all their heads in the sand. Steelers are done and need a rebuild, and they need something drastic. I don't even know. This could take a good 10 or so years. It's pathetic. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going because you know what? I'm that disgusted with this wild card game that I just couldn't believe me eyes. That this was that there it was this bad. Stroud was wicked. 21 for 32, one touchdown pass, and he didn't even go crazy, and one interception, and we couldn't capitalize on that. That was the problem. Aaron's 17 for 33, one interception. That's you can't make those mistakes when you're in this situation, and it's just first quarter field goal. Boswell. Then we get Stroud, short pass complete to Kirk for a 6-yard touchdown. Then a field goal by the Steelers, Boswell again. And then we go to the fourth quarter, field goal by Fairplane. Then we get a touchdown. is when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked and lose fumbles the ball, and that was clean. That was a good score, and they got the touchdown and carried it down the field. Um, Anderson Rankins. So Rankins scored a 33, and he stood on his feet, and that's why it counted 33-yard or 33 touchdown. So that went 17-6. It was just a disaster. Marks rushes for its 13 touchdown to Farham for the extra point. 24-6. I can't even. Rogers passed deep right, intercepted again by Bullock, and this was just desperation. He was not in the game. 408 yards to 175 for the Texans. This was not even close. 244 to 112 in passing yards. 164 for for Texans. Rushing yards 164 to 63. Yards per carry 6.2 to 3.1. It wasn't even close. This was a disgrace. So let's see what else we got here. Uh, Yards per play. Okay. First down 21-13 for the Texans. Third downs 10 out of 15 for the Texans, 2 out of 14 for the Steelers, 0. Fourth down conversions for the Texans, 2 for 3 for the Steelers. 66 total plays to 56 for the Texans. Sacks allowed, 3 by the Texans, 4 by the Steelers. Punts, 3 for the Texans, 6 for the Steelers. Penalties, um, 6 for 44 and 3 for 24 for the Texans. Fumbles lost, 2 for the Texans, 1 for the Steelers. Interceptions, 1 apiece. Time of possession 32.22 for the Texans, 27-38 for or 27-38 for the Steelers. Tackles 27-33 for the Steelers. Field goals made 1 for 1, 2 for 2 for the Steelers. Red zone attempts 2 for 3 for the Texans, 0 for 2 for the Steelers. That says it all. They get in the red zone, they couldn't do shit with it. They couldn't do shit. Our offensive line is garbage. We've wasted too much time in the draft. Drafting these players, and this coaching staff is fucking pathetic. Lord forgive me. This coaching staff, I have not been on board with this coaching staff since Bruce Arians was with the team. And that's quite a long freaking time ago. And we might have had one other guy. I forget the guy that came to us from the Colts. I should know his name. And that was the last time I had 2 coaches on this team I liked. This coaching staff is garbage. Garbage. They don't know how to manage the defense because I can't see how Jalen Ramsey in the secondary can play the way they do with allowing players to be way past them in the backfield. That's beyond me. You're supposed to be a superstar. So to me, it's got to come down to coaching. Something's vastly, drastically wrong with all of the concepts that were used in this game. Defensively, they killed us defensively. What an oiled machine that is. I would not want to be a team running into that Texans team. That is one hell of a defense. Um, Stroud, what can you say? That kid he's something else. He's definitely one of the elites. So I mean that's somebody that the Bills are going to have to worry about because that Stroud kid, you put more around him as time goes. And I don't know, that team looks like it can do a lot of damage, to tell you the truth. This was a disgrace. I can't say anything. I'm glad the season's over. I called it was going to go this way, and it went this way. To be quite honest, and I said if we got to the wild card, we get put out. We couldn't win a playoff game. It's a disgrace that we keep getting to the wild card because we're losing our opportunities in the draft to clean this mess up. For what? So we can say we have made the playoffs 19 times and we can't fix this team, the mess that's on the field. This is mess. I feel so bad for Cameron Hayward. I really do. I just feel so bad for him. He played so hard, and TJ Watt as well. And like I say, maybe this is the time where we don't have a choice, but I hate to say it, trade TJ Watt, one of your best players, in order to get something in here. The rebuild's got to start. Metcalf's all you got now. Metcalf and TJ Watt and Hayward. I mean, yeah, you got Porter. You got a few others, but nothing major. You got to get upgrade the receivers and that line. There's no excuse for that line because it's been 10 plus years. I'm sure that line has been affected, and there's no excuse for it. And we can't fix it. We've been drafting for in positions for it. You got something's got to give, and that tells me that we're not doing it management wise. We got to get better at drafting. So that being said, way to go, Steelers Nation, go. I hate to speak on my team like this. And please don't. I hear the rumors. Get Aaron Rodgers for another year for what? To extend the fucking pain? Come on. Aaron, like I said, as much as he was talented in his day passed. Let's be real. Aaron, with the responses, and yes, I'll give him credit, he had no line. But either way, there was no signal going from his brain was telling him to run, and his legs didn't move. And that's a sign of an old man. Sorry. So we need to get away from that. These fantasy jokes of guys that are up in their twilight years and beyond, their heydays past. Enough of that nonsense. Let's start getting some quality. It's time to fix this mess. And that means I would clean sweep this coaching staff. That's my what I got to say about that. I'd clean sweep it. Do your real serious homework. I'd love to see Cower back and Earrings. I'd love to see them back, but all I can say is, and LeBeau, LeBeau was awesome. Dick LeBeau, those were the good days, and we haven't had those good days since those guys. Anyway, from Steel Curtain Productions, thank you for the season. Sorry, it's been a little messier one because I was not happy with what we put on the field, and it came to fruition. Sorry, guys. We got to face realities. We need a cleanup, and we should be pushing for a major cleanup because this team can't compete with anybody if we're being real. There's no sense of slipping in the playoffs when you're going to get trounced and just swept across the field like a piece of dirt. It's embarrassing to watch. Thanks for watching. Go Steelers Nation, go, and let's pray to God the Steelers do something positive in the off season.